Hi, Renee. How are you doing today?
I'm well, and you?
Good. It's a pleasure to meet you. Um, Before we start this session, I'm going to go over my confidentiality statement. And then I will then ask you some self-guided questions so that I can get to know a little bit more about your situation and also a little bit more about you.
Okay.
So, um, like I was saying, in this session, I will ask you self-guided questions to offer you solution-focused resolutions. All conversations are kept confidential and private, with the exception of that you feel like you're in danger of yourself or harming others. Are you
Okay.
okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a ton of questions. They are some self-guided questions because I do want to get to know more about your situation. And more importantly, I want to know how you feel. Okay. So tell me a little bit more about what you have going on or what your situation is. Tell me a little
Um,
bit more but about yourself and also how you feel.
so I've just been, lately I've just been not myself. I've been having like suicidal thoughts. It's just taking over my life. I don't know how much longer I can last,
Mhm.
going through the motions, feeling like I'm a zombie, going to work, coming home. It's just becoming a lot. I don't know how much I can take.
Okay. And I'm sorry that you are going through this and you are taking I think the best step that you're taking is being here and actually that says a lot because you have decided to take a step and see a therapist just to find out more about, your situation. So that's good. And I really condemn you. I really praise you for that, actually showing up and trying to get help. Um, I would like to know more about, and I think this is really important, and please forgive me if some of this is sensitive for you, but I want to know more about your family, of your family dynamic. So what I mean by that is your, do you have children? How is your relationship with your parents? Maybe something that have possibly happened in your childhood that's affecting you currently. Just your family dynamic. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I don't have any kids, but I am in school. Um, my parents, we have a good relationship, sort of. When I say sort of, it's kind of rocky. Um, my childhood wasn't the best or whatever. Um, so my family dynamic, I mean, it's okay. It could be better. But I know other people go through more. So, no kids, I do have problems with with my dad sometimes or whatever. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess I have a pretty normal relationship with my family.
Okay. Do you know, I guess, how long have you been having these thoughts and these feelings? How long have this been going on?
Mm, I'd say a few months now, maybe like 3 or 4 months now.
Okay. And is there something that may have changed in your life, or is there anything that has changed that has possibly impacted how you're currently feeling?
Um, I'd say yes and no. Recently just moved, just broke up with my boyfriend. We were together for like 6 years, and it just came out of the blue, you know. So I guess I've been feeling a little down, like no one loves me.
And that's understandable. Definitely understandable because it sounds like you do have a lot of different life changes that's happening. And sometimes when we do have shifts in our lives, especially new chapters, we can feel a different type of way. So the thoughts that you're having, I don't think that it's outside of what people can feel or go through. So it seems like there is reason behind how you're feeling. That's completely understandable. I do want to deep dive a little bit more, considering it is suicidal thoughts that you're having. So currently on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think you feel currently?
Um, so today I feel about an 8.
About an 8? That's good. Okay. About an 8. That's good. Okay. You taking steps that you need to take. You feel a little better. Okay. Tell me about, you know, tell me more about your goals, your aspirations, your dreams.
Um, so like I said, I'm currently in school. I want to finish school. Maybe one day have kids, a family, um, big house, a career. So yeah, those are my aspirations.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So you do have goals, you do have aspirations, you do have dreams, you do have things that you want to look forward to in your future. And I think that's a good thing as well. Um, do you, as far as your situation, if you had a chance to change one thing about your situation, which is like your breakup and all the things that you have that you have going on, what could you change about your situation, or what would you change about your situation?
Um, just to break up altogether. I felt like we were in a good space, and he just broke up with me out of nowhere. So I definitely changed, him breaking up with me.
Yeah, but um, as you know, it's just a chapter, and fortunately, for chapters, the pages can change, and it's just a temporary situation. So I think the best thing is to focus on your goals, uh, distract yourself from what is happening in the now, and maybe start thinking about your future and thinking about what you have to look forward to in your future, because this is just something that's temporary. And of course, life has its moments, but the best thing is that you have, goals and things that you could focus on just to distract you from what your situation is.
Yeah.
Um, do you ever feel like, I guess, do you ever feel overwhelmed, or what does the feeling of being overwhelmed, like, are you overwhelmed currently with everything that's happening as far as school and the breakup?
I guess I can just say that, it's overwhelming. I feel um I have a lot of emotions on some days. Some days I'm crying a lot. Some days I'm depressed, don't want to get out of bed, don't want to go to school, don't want to eat.
Mhm.
I guess I just have a range of emotions where some days I'm having good days and some days I'm having bad days. And then with school on top of that, and then me having to move because we live together, um, it's just a lot.
Yeah, to me, it sounds like you have a lot to compartmentalize, and it's trying to focus on school and the deadlines you have there, and grieving, because I feel like breakups are it's a grieving process, and to grieve a relationship, because we forget that it's a relationship. So to me, grieving someone is no different than grieving a death. So you have to give yourself grace that you are grieving a relationship. Give yourself some grace there. Suicidal thoughts can be completely normal when you're grieving the ending of a chapter and the ending of a relationship. So um so you said that this started 2 months ago. You said that you are going through a process of, a breakup. But just to get an understanding, those suicidal thoughts started right when that breakup happened.
Yeah. Like I said, it came out of nowhere. I didn't expect it to come. I thought we were doing well, and he just out of the blue told me he wanted to go separate ways.
So have you ever experienced suicidal thoughts before in the past?
Um, when I was maybe when I was a teenager, yeah, when I was living with my parents or whatever.
Do you remember what may have transpired then when you had the suicidal thoughts?
Me and my dad, we were always bumping heads. I just felt like he was always so strict or whatever. So, he never let me do anything. So I feel like, me and my dad's relationship was strained. So, I had a few suicidal thoughts, wanting to end it all.
Okay. Well, prior to you coming to see me, how were you combating these thoughts?
Uh, there weren't often. My parents tried to give me help, but I didn't want it. But I did have a counselor at school, that I would see.
Okay. And that's a start as well. And did it help you any by going and seeing the school counselor?
Yeah, it helped for the most part, but I always had those thoughts in the back of my head.
Okay.
I've been struggling.
This is I from what I'm hearing and what I'm gathering, you have a lot to look forward to. You have a lot of things that you have going on positively in your life. And it seems like situations is what causes you to have these thoughts. And I say, try to do your best to distract yourself. Later on in this session, I will give you some solutions and some techniques that you can use to keep yourself distracted. But this is just a temporary chapter. It will pass. And if you ever talk to elders, I really like talking to my elders about life, and they'll let you know that you are going to go through different stages in your life, and it's just temporary. It will pass. And before you know it, you're not going to remember that boyfriend. You're not going to remember his name because, like I said, it's just a chapter. So, well, you did mention earlier that you do want to eventually have children. If you ain't here no more, you can't have the children, you know? And then you never know what those children would be one day. You being here can just really change the trajectory of so many other people's lives. Um, if you were to think about harming yourself, give me a list of things you would do because you're having suicidal thoughts. So if you were to think about harming yourself, give me a list of things that you would do instead of harming yourself. Do you have any interest as far as, extracurricular activity? What would you do if you were in the house right now saying, I can't bear this anymore? This is too much. This is too heavy. What would you do besides that? Can you think of any other thing? It can be something that just really makes you happy. Can you think of something that really makes you happy?
Hit the gym.
Okay. Okay. And then they say that when you go to the gym, those endorphins, you're releasing the stressors, the stress endorphins is what research have said. So
Yeah.
that's a good way to get that off of you. Because the goal is not only to keep you from having suicidal thoughts, but to distract you from those suicidal thoughts. Um, so for example, solutions would be, I find this helpful. It may not be helpful for other people, but meditating takes practice, but just being quiet with yourself and just sitting with yourself and just thinking about, how will my future look? Because it's always great things that we have for ourselves in our future when we just focus on it. So, um, meditating, I have a list of solutions. Getting plenty of sleep. They always it's easier said than done. I know, even in school. Learning a new skill, meeting new people, praying. If you are religious or if you're into praying, journaling, writing down your feelings, stretching, taking a long shower or a long bath, and then simply distracting yourself. So the moment you are sitting with yourself and saying, I can't do this no more, try to come up with a way to distract yourself, but come up with something that you think will make you happy. It could be watching a movie. Um, I think in this situation, the best thing we could do is come up with a safety plan Um, and it's just a safety plan. So what that is you will make a list of people that you can rely on, that you can call if you are starting to have suicidal thoughts. Can you think of anybody?
My sister.
Okay. Anybody else?
Mm,
A list. Like, because I say a list, okay, because in case your sister is not available at the moment and you really just can't bear it anymore and you just need somebody to talk to and your sister don't pick up the phone, do you have any other people that you can add to your list?
mm, I'm not really close to anybody else.
Okay. Um, my suggestions would be with people most of the time, I say your therapist. You can always call your therapist. Um, there are crisis hotlines that you can call. There are churches that have also crisis hotlines as well, a pastor. Most of these bigger churches, they have crisis hotlines. Uh, your doctor. Um, a lot of the times we think about our brain and how it functions is a problem, but from a problem. But sometimes it can be medical. People don't always think about that. And I say medical because people have underlying conditions that can affect the way their brain processes. So if it gets bad and therapy is not working for you with me in the future, maybe consider going to the doctor, getting blood work done, and making sure there aren't any other underlying conditions that may be affecting you, because those things can affect your brain. We always think of mental health as an emotion, but sometimes it's a medical, it can be medical as well. Um, Another thing is, I would say after this therapy session, do some research and try to see if you can find some support groups or an online community. Do you know that there are more people than you think that are going through the same thing that you're going through? Maybe it's a group of people that are going through breakups and they don't know how they can function cold. Good thing about online is there's a community for everybody, and there's something for everybody in the community for everything. Um, so after talking to me on a scale of 1 to 10, do you think that this has been helpful for you?
Um, I think it's been pretty helpful to have someone to talk to.
Okay. And what I would do is the next counseling session, come up with the list of people because we have to come up with our emergency safety plan. A list of people that you would call if you're not feeling well. People that somebody you can call at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. An emergency plan in the case you're not feeling yourself. Because the purpose of this therapy session is to keep you from having those suicidal thoughts and to have a community that will be willing to help you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Mary. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
So I want to jump right into it. Last time we were talking, I know you mentioned that you were going through a divorce, and your husband then was demanding half of your assets. Can you tell me, a little bit more about that? What's going on these days?
Oh yeah. Whew, Lord. Mm. So yeah, I'm stressed because I'm just trying to manage the divorce and I'm trying to manage my work environment. But yes, I am and I make more money significantly. I forgot to mention my soon to be ex-husband was a stay-at-home dad. And so he took care of the kids while I worked on Wall Street. And so he is suing me for half of everything that I have and trying to gain custody of our children.
So you're saying that he is trying to get full custody, or is he trying to what's going on there?
He's trying to get spousal support and full custody in my half of my assets.
Okay. And you said you work on Wall Street and your kids stay with him while
No,
he's
they're with me. They're with me.
and he's a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, but because of the demands of my job, in my career, and I do travel a lot as well. That's why we made the executive decision when we were married for him to be at home with the kids because my job was more demanding than his was at the time when we decided to have the kids.
And how long has this been?
We were married for 10 years.
So he's been a stay-at-home dad for 10 years?
Yes.
Hmm. And has he said why he um, is coming after your assets? Does he
Yeah.
feel entitled to these?
Yeah, he does. So we have a 9-year old and we have a 3-year old. So we still have a younger child in the home that he helps take care of.
Mhm. And so the last time we spoke, you also said that you were feeling defeated and cornered.
I am because I put everything that I had into not only my career, but my family. I've made so many sacrifices. And the reason why we're divorcing is a lot of it's him, things that he's done in the marriage. If I feel like if we would still be married, if he didn't do the things that he did in the marriage, I felt cornered because I had no choice but to file for divorce. So it's defeating because he did some things that constituted me for filing for divorce, but I also sacrificed by making sure that I provided for the family. And now he wants to take half of everything that I got.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I know you said you filed for divorce and it's a little messy. Um, Outside of this therapy, have you tried um, marriage counseling?
We did.
And how was that?
We couldn't meet a resolution. There was no solution.
Okay, so this is your last resort.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Mary, let me tell you, your resilience and, your success in managing, both your demanding career and your family, is pretty decent. I have to commend you. Um, so I want to give you some homework to practice. Also, I want to tell you that you've been doing good with holding everything together, managing, showing up for yourself, your kids, your job. It's impeccable. Um, I see that you care deeply about the things that you're doing on Wall Street. I see that you care deeply about your kids, and that I could tell that you really fought for your family. I want you to try an exercise really quick if
Okay.
you're up for it.
Okay.
So I want you to act as if you were already the calm, confident, the confident version of yourself, the version who believes she can handle whatever comes her way. Um, so how does this person carry herself at work?
Honestly, I put on a game face. I'm one of the only Black people in this industry, young Black woman in this industry, and I'm always in character. And so that can be exhausting for me because unfortunately, being a Black woman in that industry, you have to be in a character all the time. And so um it's heavy. I'm in character at work. I'm going through the things that I'm going through at home. I'm trying to be a good mother, and then I'm trying to fight in the court system in two different cases. So all of the things that are going on with me in my life, it's heavy on me.
Okay, and I know you said that um, you work with predominantly white males, right?
Yes.
So tell me, how does, you know, the confident, the person that believes they can handle whatever handles working with those predominantly white males?
Um, I had to fight my way in this industry. And I mean literally fight my way in this industry. The microaggressions, being the way I look, are always there. So I feel like, not only do I go through the verbal abuse at work with my peers, because I love the finance industry, but I have to deal with the white males there. It's not that they're white males, it's just that they say the things like, you're smart for a black woman,
Hmm.
that type of thing. That's what I mean. And it's just the microaggressions. And then when I get home, I have to go through those at home. I think sometimes my soon-to-be ex-husband felt a way about being a stay-at-home dad.
Hmm.
Maybe it made he felt like a little belittled, but I never tried to belittle him. So I'm always in these different roles that I don't want to be playing different roles I don't want to play.
Yeah, I can understand how that feels. Have you ever tried to reassure him that you're not trying to belittle him or act as if you're more than him or better than him?
Yes, all the time. I try to reassure him all the time.
Okay. And if you were to act as if you were hurt, the confident, the handle whatever tomorrow, what's one small thing that you could do differently?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't have been the sole provider in the home. Would have made it where we both went to work.
Hmm.
And we both
Okay.
contributed to the bills and that we would send the kids to school and to daycare.
Okay, okay, that sounds good. So growth happens, one intentional choice at a time. Um, I want to acknowledge how much progress you've made. Even in, your hardest moments, you show determination, and that you care for others. That speaks to your character. I'd like you to keep practicing the as if mindset. Um, and remember that encouragement isn't about pretending. It's about pretending everything's fine. It's about recognizing the courage that you already have. Um, you've got more strength than than you realize. And like I said, I want to give you some homework to do. So next time that you come, um, you can share that with me, and we can go from there if
Okay.
that's fine with you. I want you to act as if behavior thoughts um, throughout the week and to journal moments where you feel empowered. So like if you go to a job function, or you go to work, or just anywhere where you're around people and you act as if you're this confident person, you're this, nothing's going on in your life, nothing, you're not battling, that marriage, you're not battling, trying to be a good mother. You're just acting as if you're already confident, you're already, that girl. I want you to act as if, and then when you feel empowered, like, yes, girl, I went to this soiree and I was like, I put it on, I had on my nice little dress and my hair was done. And, I was just, I was mingling with everybody. Nobody was, against me. I wasn't fighting the world. I was just, I had a good time. Journal that, go home, journal that at nighttime. Like, yeah, I felt that. Yeah, I had a good time. I had all of my worries were gone. I didn't have any care in the world. I was just enjoying life.
Okay, that's a good idea.
And like I said, I want to encourage you to, you know, go out and, keep practicing as if, like I said, you're doing such a great job. Your resilience, you're showing up for yourself and your kids. And I commend you for that. I see that every session that you come, and I just love that about you.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, sounds good to me. I'll see you in the next session.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And I also wanted to add that um yeah, it's been stressful, and that this therapy session is helping me out a lot. Um, I see an improvement for myself ever since the last time, and I really appreciate you taking your time and really sitting with me and really understanding what I have going on with me and my family. and hopefully things will get better.
Yes, I want that for you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.